Hello everyone and welcome to the Sporty Show. I'm Alex Ashmore, of course, as always, joined by the one and only Klinton Cod. Klinton, how are you doing?
I've given you the end of the show from the beginning. And we are going to go from the beginning to the end. Okay, that's rubbish. I don't know what I said there. But still, it's a boy Klinton Cod as usual. And we are right here to give you... Okay. Alex, what's up, man? I know
We've got a lot going on today.
Absolutely.
It's a busy weekend ahead.
Yep.
I think we've got just about everything to go through. Got Bundesliga, we've got City. Actually, no, wait, let's forget about that. It's ElClásico this weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Real Madrid versus Barcelona at the Bernabeu. Klinton and I will be there doing lots of social media, interviewing fans, the whole lot. So stay tuned to our social media channels for all of that. We've got some games for you guys on SportyTV this week. We've got in La Liga High Promotion, Levante against Deportivo La Coruña at 6 o'clock WAT. Friday, we've got Al Kholoud versus Al Nassr, Cristiano Ronaldo in action again. On Friday, we've got Al Ahly versus Al Ukhdud. Saturday, Defensa y Justicia against River Plate. And then more on Saturday. We've got Melbourne City versus Melbourne Victory, Coventry City against Luton Town. And then as we move into the rest of the weekend, Manchester City against Southampton, Werder Bremen against Victor Boniface's Bayer Leverkusen, Shenhua versus Shenzhen in the Chinese Super League, Norwich versus Middlesbrough. Jack Wilshere, of course, at Norwich City now. The 32-year-old making Klinton feel a little bit old, as usual. Real Betis versus Atletico Madrid on Sunday at 5 o'clock WAT. And on Sunday, we have Fiorentina versus Roma in the Serie A. So, lots going on this weekend. But of course, we've got the Clásico to talk about. We've got Arsenal versus Liverpool. So let's have a look at what's coming up on today's show.
It's ElClásico weekend. And what better way to preview the biggest game in the world than by talking to one of the world's best defenders as Jules Koundé joins the Sporty Show. We also take a look at all the Champions League action from last night. And we make sure to analyse everything happening around the top European leagues.
So let's dive into some Champions League action from last night. Klinton, we were talking about some of the big games. Let's go through some of the results. Atalanta drawing 0-0 with Celtic. Brest and Leverkusen drawing 1-1. The big surprise that I believe you want to milk for all intensive purposes, Atletico Madrid 1, Lille 3. The French side doing the double over both Madrid teams. Klinton, I believe, did you predict that one right? Almost?
If I hear almost, you're going to piss me off, okay? You're actually going to piss me off. Now, the truth is, oh my God, Sara is not here. Oh my God, I want to laugh at Sara. I mean, Sara is one of the happiest, obviously, because of what happened in Barcelona yesterday. But no, I'm just happy because the truth is, when I was telling people that I felt it in the spirit, and if you watch that video, you will see the way I said it. I said it like, you know, it wasn't even me judging based on the game. It was more of...
It was just a complete guess.
No, listen. Alec, we are going to stand on this table and forget your height. I will beat... I'm African, man. I will beat you here. We'll literally... Thank God this table is big enough. But no, truth is, I knew I heard him. And it was very loud and clear. He came through my left ears. I didn't hear it from here. He came from here, right? And he said, Atletico Madrid fans would be crying. I remember when I was saying that they were going to lose, I saw your reactions. A couple of you, including Gary, were like, what? Even Gary even made a statement. He said, because initially it was 2-1. And then the Spirit said, no, Klinton, it's not 2-1. It's 3-1.
I think it was the other way around, wasn't it?
Listen, Alex, if you interrupt this God's word now again, if you interrupt me again. And then I said, no, 3-1. And boom, listen, when the game was on 2-1, I was like, God, I know what I heard. Don't worry, there's going to be a few more predictions, and these ones, what I'm hearing about what's going to be happening this weekend and even next. I think I'm beginning to see a few stuffs in advance, and I'm going to be unleashing a few. Whatever prediction you want to hear me speak about, just drop those YouTube comments. Just say Prophet Klinton Cod.
Well, talking about someone who perhaps isn't a prophet, Gary, did you get that prediction wrong? Am I correct?
Klinton.
Gary's in the show. Gary's in the show. Gary's in the show. Gary, one good man, one good. Gary, I know that one was one of those.
I hail you. Prophet Klinton God. Prophet Klinton God.
Oh,
that was fantastic. Yesterday's predictions was one of the, like, if you put something on that thing, man.
Yo, I was saying to my friend now. I
You'd have been smiling all the way to the back, my friend.
Absolutely, you destroy Accra. You mad? Like, fam, the whole of, even the president of Accra would be like,
I
what
should
is
have
going
put something on it. I should have put something on it, man.
No, I mean, even me that said it, I should have done something on it too. But, I mean, I heard the voice, but I didn't know if it was God or devil's voice. Sometimes you need to distinguish which one. So that was why I just gave what I heard, but I didn't know if it was from the positive side of heaven or the negative side of heaven. In heaven, both parties were formed in heaven until they threw away one. So
I know, right?
You have to be very careful which one you're listening to. So
you have to be discerning.
Exactly, absolutely.
What a result it was for Lille, of course. Jonathan David getting a penalty and a second goal, doing Sara proud. I think her fellow Canadian, good to see for her. Some of the other results from last night: Benfica losing 3-1 at home to Feyenoord. Man City put 5 past Sparta Praha. That was something we didn't quite go into too much detail about yesterday. Yeah. Man City on a rampage there.
I mean,
I did say bloodbath. All I said was bloodbath.
You did. To be fair, you did. Yeah. You did. That was all you needed to say, I think, actually. Yes, Man City winning 5-0. Nunez with a pen at the end. Haaland with 2 goals. John Stones and Phil Foden making up the rest of the goals.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have Man City to win the Champions League at the beginning of predictions?
Actually,
at the beginning of the season?
I think I did. But, Manchester City facing teams like that. You remember at some point before this actually, the first Champions League day one, I did make a statement here. I said, if I was in charge of the Champions League, one of the rules I would incorporate is if you are beaten 3 goals and above as a deficit, right? That's the end of your competition. Literally, you stop there. So yesterday or 2 days ago would have been the end of Dortmund, it means, okay? Yesterday would have been the end of Bayern Munich as well, right? But maybe I might look at these teams and be like, okay, because look at what happened with Real Madrid. They were 2-0 down. Maybe they knew that in the future, this man is going to be in charge of Champions League. They came back and said, before they add one more and eliminate us already, let's go sink 5 goals already. Okay? So now, maybe I might turn it and say, okay, you know what? If there is some kind of scoring going on, okay, all the 3 goals or 4 goals are not coming, right at the same time. Say there's 2 goals and then a reply or whatever, right? Okay, fine. That's some kind of competition going on. But this kind of Manchester City situation where it's like 5-0, listen, the players are not allowed to go home from there. Literally, they are going to prison first. Yeah, they will do two weeks in jail because there's no way you're going to be a Champions League team and a fellow Champions League team will be, because this is Champions League football, for Christ's sake. It's meant to be very competitive. It's meant to be very, very tough because these are the best coming together to play. So why would you go play Champions League football and another team, just like yourself, you've hustled together in your individual leagues to come play this thing, and one is giving you 5-0. Now, you should be playing championship in England. For Christ's sake, man. Gary, 5-0.
Well, I mean, I think we discussed this at the same time as you made that statement a couple of weeks ago when the Champions League was about to start. And we said that, I think the exact expression we used, that for some of these teams, it's going to be a real money spinner. And most of them will do everything possible to get into this stage, the league phase of the Champions League. Klinton. Why? Because they know that the odds of having certain big teams coming over to their home grounds is a big deal, and they are going to make a financial killing when fans from those countries come around for tourism, for whatever reason, and so on. So for them, look, I'm sure you and I are worried about 5-0, but those guys were absolutely just happy to be playing Manchester City in the first place, because this time last 2 years, none of their fans would ever be dreaming that they'll be meeting Man City in the Champions League. So yeah, they'll take it as a W, as a positive, get better and try to have a better result next time. But for now, I'm sure they are very happy that they even played Manchester City.
Another team that will be very happy after last night, Liverpool, getting a 1-0 win. RB Leipzig 0, Liverpool 1. Darwin Núñez with the goal. He's someone that we don't often see on the goal sheet. Liverpool, even if they don't perhaps play to their best of their ability, you look at on paper, they probably should be beating Leipzig with more goals. But they do the job, come what may, they get the win. I've been really impressed with this Liverpool side so far this season. We talked about it last night. At one point, can you consider them a Champions League title contender? And, they're going into this weekend top of the Premier League. They've got Arsenal on Sunday, which we might come on to later. Yep. If we have enough time, Gary, we can grill you about that one. They're doing well in the Champions League. They're unbeaten. This Liverpool side, can you see them being stopped?
Well, I mean, right now anything can be stopped, because 2 days ago, if you would have said that Bayern Munich would be receiving 4-1 from Barcelona, right, you would have said no. Maybe if Barcelona even wins, we'll probably say it's going to be a very proper competitive football, maybe 2-1 or maybe 3-2, but it's definitely not going to. I mean, when you look at the game yesterday, it was I think it was a proper payback. Obviously not the kind of payback from the, I mean, I hate to say these things again, but I mean, you wouldn't really classify it as a proper payback. But, like I said, I hate to say it, but I just had to. Yeah, they had to. Now, the truth is, Liverpool, like you said, they are doing the job. They are getting the 3 points. Leipzig, they're not a small team. Just to let you know, I mean, they're a very good side as well. Like, it's not like they're bad. It's not like Liverpool playing Nottingham Forest.
No. I mean, Xavi Simons, Luis Openda, Benjamin Šeško. Yeah. These are some players that.
Of course, these are serious players, man. Of course, absolutely. So if Liverpool is going, and mind you, these are not people they are used to playing every single time. It's not like in the Champions League where they are used to all these teams. They see them facing their other teams, and these are people playing in their different leagues. So if and this is the reason why Champions League football is different. Is you're just coming from nowhere. I mean, not from nowhere. You obviously, you're coming to face teams that you're not used to facing, like season in, season out, right? So
the best versus the best.
Absolutely, the best versus the best. I mean, not with Manchester City type of best versus the best, because those guys, I've told you guys, those people that Man City beat 5-0, bruh. Gary, if you go to Accra right now, go to some hotels, those guys are clean. There are some boys you will bring us. If we come together, we will beat those guys at Man City. Like, these are the people that I think they shouldn't be, spoiling this Champions League football, because it's very annoying. Like I said, Champions League football is meant to be the highest competition.
But Klinton, on a more serious note, though, and Alex, I mean, you guys might have heard this when the format was changed. It was one of the key reasons why the critics were screaming the loudest, that they felt like the league phase was just fodder. It was just going to start pad for the big teams. The first month or so, we have seen that this has not been the case, because we have had match days where we have had fantastic surprises. But exactly what you are saying is the criticism that was leveled at, the Champions League's new format. And Alex, you might remember this. People said, look at all these Sparta Prague and these teams that are going to be playing. It's so obvious that the gulf in quality is so wide, right? It's so wide that they are not going to do anything substantial in the Champions League.
Yeah.
What do you think, Alex?
I agree with you. I think, and this was one of the complaints as well about the old format, that perhaps having 6 league games, by the time you get to the 5th and 6th game, there are teams like Real Madrid, like Man City, that will put out youngsters just for, for variety and just to give the main players a rest. But as a whole, I do like this new format. We have seen exciting results. Lille beating Atletico Madrid, beating Real Madrid. Some shocks in there. But I do think, and this is also the case, when you increase the format in terms of you add more teams, there's bound to be more teams that aren't up to that level. And it's like the World Cup. You're getting teams in there that don't belong at the World Cup, to be quite frank. Yeah. So this new format, I like it, but I would perhaps like to see it a little bit more condensed. Yeah. And I think Man City beating Sparta Prague 5-0. Yes, it's good for Man City. It gives their players confidence. But as a neutral, you don't really want to watch games like that.
No, but that's the reason why I said they need to introduce this my law, where, okay, give them the opportunity, like Gary said, because they're happy to play these players. Okay, all right, okay. I mean, Gary, see it this way. Like, imagine the people that Manchester City give 5. Okay, fine. You guys are going to play us, beat us. But, I mean, I just make sure I take Haaland's jersey, all right? Take what, Savio or whatever, Kevin De Bruyne, if you're going to watch, let me just take a few selfies. But after you take all those jerseys, you're not coming back to the Champions League. Again, that's literally you going home. Literally. That's what I think should be happening, because the truth is, maybe Real Madrid is going to face that same team. And before the game even starts, somebody like you will be like, okay, that's easy 3 points for Real Madrid already. Or Liverpool will be facing some other quack team somewhere in Latvia or in Lithuania. and then before the game starts, we are like, oh, well, Vinicius is probably just going to be jogging around. Like, it's not even, you probably finish that game, there's no one sweat. Like, this is my problem. Okay, fine. Let them get their points.
But Klinton, you know what the people at UEFA have said to counter this thing that we are talking about. Every team deserves a right to be at the top level, and it's the Champions League should not be the what's the phrase they use again? It should not be the best right of maybe just about 20 teams in Europe or 15 teams in Europe. That's what they've always said. There's one very corny one they say. Football for everyone. Exactly.
Football for everyone. You think I don't want to play football?
Football
okay.
is for everyone.
It depends
on
the context.
Yeah, football for everyone. So, yeah.
No, but no.
And it's the same argument they use when they said Qatar does not deserve to host the World Cup because they are not a traditional football nation. They don't have a football culture. And Saudi Arabia does not deserve to host the World Cup because they are not a traditional football nation. You are always going to hear Infantino and those in charge say that, Europe and the traditional, maybe the South America, the Argentina, Brazil, they are not the ones. Football is for everybody around the world. And so if even they are taking the game to Alaska and they don't have a football culture, they deserve to have, they always say that stuff.
Yeah.
But we know it's all about the money.
To wrap things up then on the Champions League, RB Salzburg lost 2-0 to Dinamo Zagreb. Dinamo Zagreb, they lost obviously 9-2 to Bayern Munich. They're now above Bayern Munich in the Champions League table.
Oh, wow.
Interesting fact for you there. Young Boys lost 1-0 at home to Inter Milan. And the big one, Barcelona 4, Bayern Munich 1. Revenge for the 8-2. I think Sara will be very happy.
By the way, those of you asking where Sara is, Sara, I know her. Let's stop this crap. Come on. Let's just do it. Sara will be back real soon. I mean, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in a couple of days. Sara has some serious fans. Especially. Okay, let me not start mentioning names. But, I feel like yesterday was a very good day for Barcelona. I just love the way they managed to humble Bayern Munich, to be honest. And yesterday when we were analyzing the game, Gary was literally doing the whole striking off of players. Like for like. Say, for example, Harry Kane to Lewandowski, this person for that one. And we felt like the game was really, really balanced. But that thing that happened yesterday, from the start of the game, though, I felt like it was quite competitive. But eventually, it felt like Barcelona took the game, and it was literally Bayern had no way to come back from everything they were going through with Barca. And I was really, really happy for them, is to tell you that this Barcelona they are not joking this season. And this Hansi Flick is doing a very crazy job. And by the way, guys, we spoke to Jules Koundé, who's going to be, obviously we asked him one of the questions regarding the managing of the players currently by Hansi Flick compared to Xavi, and he did say a few things. We're going to come back. We're going to come to that one, at some point later on today. But you could just tell that this Barcelona, they are looking very solid. They are just looking very terrific. Jesus Christ, man! Did you see the pass from Lamine Yamal?
I mean,
and you see, Gary, I don't know which was your best goal yesterday, but let me tell you the truth. I saw this pass from Lamine Yamal. And the control. Listen, there was nothing that was done wrongly. Literally, nothing was wrong. Everything, the timing from Lamine. Okay, let me start from when Lamine saw the run. It was the time. Some players will be like, okay, let me just hold the ball quite a bit. And then before you know it, the defenders are catching their breath, or, they're trying to hold the player. But Lamine saw it and threw the pass straight up. Now, in my head, I wasn't even looking at, whether Rafinha was going to control it. At this point, I was just admiring the fact that this young lad who's playing as if he's my granddad, I don't know who gives him all these sense. I don't understand the level of, thinking that goes through that boy's head at this age. He thought about that stuff, threw the pass, and then Rafinha, on the other hand, is that control in the midst of two defenders. And the mind that he had that, you know what, I can go in between two of them, take that shot, and score the goal. Listen, there's just so much that happened within that few seconds. And I'm like, and then you look at Manuel Neuer, right? Do you see how much you know, people are actually calling for him to quit football already?
No, I mean, it's unbelievable. Aston Villa in the match week 2, John Duran's goal in no man's land, Manuel Neuer. Last night, I think defending as well for Bayern Munich was shocking. Upamecano was all over the place. I think generally, well, a bad performance all round from Bayern Munich. Vincent Kompany's got some questions to answer, hasn't he, Gary?
Yes. But yesterday we previewed that exact fact, didn't we? We spoke about the fact that, you know, Hansi Flick was several notches above. So, like Klinton said, when I spoke about the comparison player to player, man to man, I ended with the fact that I think the game changer will be that Hansi Flick is a far better tactician than Kompany, and that will be the key thing. So I'm not surprised that the game started the way it did, and then it took that long, because that's how long it took for the Barca manager get all his chips on the board and start moving the chess moves and the chess pieces on the board that Kompany could not see because, I think, of his lack of experience. And I think it is in games like these that if Bayern Munich are not patient to say that we are going to wait for this young to catch up to these elite, so he's going to beat the Bochums, the Augsburgs, he's going to beat them every day. However, when it comes to the Barcas and the true European elite, where it does take game-changing abilities to beat them, that's where I think Kompany will be found wanting. And we saw that yesterday. So I have no doubts. I mean, coaches who know better than me have said very good things about Vincent Kompany and about his mental acuity, how sharp he is, how quickly he learns. And yesterday, you know, I spent much of this morning looking at the reactions of the Bayern players, so on the Bayern website and stuff like that. And you saw most of the Bayern players say we made mistakes, but I saw one from Kompany himself that said that we either decide to learn from this mistake or we keep on whining, something to that effect. And that may be something that he needs to convince the people above him to give him an opportunity for. On social media and elsewhere, we saw complaints about not just Manuel Neuer, Klinton, like you said, but about gladiators like Thomas Muller. People felt like, it's time they should leave. But it's always a delicate balance. If Real Madrid had a bad day 3 days ago, and Borussia Dortmund had hammered them 5-2, we would have had fans saying the same thing about gladiators at Real Madrid, like Luka Modric. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Now that they played like they played,
it's the fickle nature, isn't it? It's the fickle nature of everything. Of when you're doing well, the negatives don't seem to be brought up. You know, you beat a team 5-0, or he's a young coach. He's experienced. You know, he's gaining experience. He's exciting. He's new. He loses. He doesn't have that experience. And I think it is very much a two-sided coin for someone like Vincent Kompany. Looking at the other side of that two-sided coin, Barcelona, 4-1 win over Bayern Munich, coming into perhaps the biggest game in football on Saturday, Real Madrid. How do you think they'll be feeling after that? It's their season. You know, they win this, they go 6 points clear at the top of the La Liga. That puts a statement out, doesn't it?
I feel like I'm Jules Koundé right now, because it just sounded like, what kind of questions I was asking him. And I want to, I feel like I want to just put on a very big heart and, act like I'm Koundé and start answering these questions. But just before we go to Jules Koundé, I just want to come back quickly to Manuel Neuer with that Rafinha goal, which I believe a lot of people felt like they had to criticize. And before I go there quickly, I saw a comment earlier, and that one literally struck my attention. I can't. I think it was from a guy called Kwasi Opong or something. Let's see if I would find it. I don't know. Okay, I'll probably come back to it at some point. But everybody thought that he should be saving that kind of ball, though. Because first of all, look at the angle that Rafinha took it from. First of all, he was between two defenders were literally just guiding him.
I mean, you shouldn't have got the shot off.
Yes, absolutely. He shouldn't have gotten the shot off in the first place with two defenders there. And then the angle, first of all, for somebody who has, and this is why I can't blame people calling for his head to say, no, you need to chill at this point, right? But from that angle, Alex, you would have saved that ball, you know.
Do you think so?
I think you would have saved it.
Maybe
Alex,
I've got longer arms than one.
Alex, I mean, we've played football together, and I think you've saved even more crazier stuff. And I know you. I mean, you are rubbish, but but we need to set the fact right. That one,
Dagger to the heart.
that particular one from Manuel Neuer, no, you would have saved it, man. And I felt like, first of all, the goalkeeper was quite poor. Yeah, the defense was quite poor. And you could just see again that the fact that you have all these young lads in Barcelona doing all these exploits, it was going to cause headache for these guys. I mean, look at what Lamine Yamal was doing yesterday. My man was having fun. And I just remember, just speaking about Lamine Yamal, I just remember the comment there, so I can't find it there. But the person said that they need to question Lamine Yamal's IQ. Like, for me, I feel like he should be arrested. They need to insert a needle, bring out some blood, and take it to the lab and check. Because that man is taking the piss. Like, he, at this point, is not just playing. Oh, God. Man is giving us that Euros vibe. You know, when he was playing with, what's it called? The William brother.
Nico Williams.
Yeah, Nico Williams. You know, after they did all the rubbish and then they started being kids again. I feel like this is the vibe he's trying to bring into this Barcelona team. Because yesterday, he was just doing some kind of crazy stuff. And I was asking myself, wait. When did this boy start playing football? Because unless he's been playing football in his former life and then they give birth to him again and then he remembers quite a few stuff from what he used to know, from when he used to be a granddad at my age. Okay, look at me giving myself a jab. But no, there's just something crazy about this man. And honestly, I know you've asked about Real Madrid, the ElClásico now. Let me now get into it, right? I really can't wait for it. Because both teams are literally the giants of the La Liga, you know, literally the giants of Spain. And we want to see that proper, you know, counter. I want to see how Koundé would be facing Vinicius, right? I also want to see how, who's on the left wing for, what's his name? The French guy on the Real Madrid.
Kylian Mbappe?
No, I'm talking about the
Fela Mendy.
Yeah, Mendy, right. I want to see how Mendy would be handling Lamine Yamal. These are, Gary, I promise you, these are just the two sides of that game. I want to see how either the defenders or the wingers will be handling each other. We were speaking to Jules today, and literally that was one of the questions I threw at him. I spoke about Vinicius and himself. What is going to be the situation? Like, it's going to be a very tough game. It's going to be one of the craziest games because now it's not just the ElClásico. This is an ElClásico where you have these really tough guys playing for these two different teams. It's not, of course, we know that Lionel Messi back in their days, Ronaldo, they were on a whole new, you know, they were on their own level. This one is another level. I feel like this is now the will I say the iPhone 16 mini of the Pro Max, which was Messi and Ronaldo, because obviously these young ones, they are still growing and there's still time for them to, you know, evolve.
That's a really good analogy.
That's exactly how I see it.
Analogy.
I'm surprised that your age, you know
that's
about
a really
that sort
good
of technology.
Alex, you listen, you walk out of this show and me and Gary will finish up. Honest.
Now, we've I think, appropriately whetted the appetite for ElClásico. Klinton, earlier, you spoke to Jules Koundé and, well, talked to him about Bayern Munich, about Real Madrid. Let's have a look at what Jules Koundé and Klinton got up to earlier today.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the Sporty Show right now, we have one of the chief defensive officers for the giant La Liga side, Barcelona. It's Jules Koundé. Jules, speak to me. Welcome to the Sporty Show, by the way. Yesterday was an amazing day for yourself and your teammates. You had a very convincing win against the German side, Bayern Munich. How do you feel winning that game and knowing that you have an another game this weekend that we would probably classify as, as good as a Champions League final. This is the ElClásico. How do you feel right now going into that game this weekend?
Thank you, man. We're feeling great. We're feeling great. Obviously, yesterday was a big win for us. Champions League game against a very tough opponent. I would say it was probably our toughest game since the beginning of the season. It was a big test, and we came victorious, which is important. But also the way we played, we show character also, because we started very well. Early goal, and after we struggled a little bit. They scored, and they were a little bit dominated, but we fought, and we came back. We were able to score more goals and to end up victorious. So it adds a lot of confidence to the team coming into the Clásico, which obviously is a very important game, also one of the biggest game, or the biggest game in football. So he has confidence, and we definitely going there to win the game and to bring back 3 points in Barcelona.
Now, talking about this confidence, Real Madrid, on the other hand, they played another German machines, obviously Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund did score their first 2 goals, and at that point, people felt like, wow, what is going on? And all of a sudden, Real Madrid being Real Madrid, they came back and won the game with 5 good goals. Now, you seeing what has happened, do you think that has mounted any kind of pressure on yourself and your teammates? Do you think, okay, this is going to be different?
So we saw the game, and that's what Madrid does, to be honest. It's not the first time. It's a team who know how to win, and that's, I think, the biggest trait of Real Madrid this past season is no matter how they play, sometimes they can play very well, sometimes they play a little bit less well, but they always figured out a way to win. And the game of Tuesday showed it. We're expecting that, and we know that it will be tough. And when you have the opportunities to score goals, especially against Madrid, you have to do it, because they will always find a way. They also have very talented players, players who can decide the game almost by themselves. So we have to put on our best, how we say, costume and best game. Bring our best game to be able to win, especially in Bernabeu.
Now, Barcelona, they've been really solid. I mean, you guys have been very, very excellent this season. You've only had 2 losses, one in the Champions League, one in the La Liga. Obviously, the one in the Champions League was due to a red card you guys had, and I would put that to the reason why you lost. And what's the tactical difference between what you had with your manager last season, Xavi, and Hansi Flick? What is the difference between them being your manager or the coaching style in your team?
I would say we play a little bit more intense. We play a little bit more intense. I think there are some concepts which are a little bit similar, and which is playing the high line. Obviously, this season we're playing a little bit higher, but Barca always been a team who play with a high line, and I think we understand it better. The team also spend more time together, because I think it's important when you're building something. Continuity, being able to play games with the same guys around you, it helps the team grow. And just also the way we start preseason. I mean, the coach has a philosophy. It doesn't matter who we play, we always going to play the same way, even if we can adapt something. He know what he wants, and I think the team understand it very well. The team also is in very great shape, because to play this type of football, you have to be physically on top, because it requires a lot of effort. But also the team understand that with this effort comes the rewards, especially from the guys in front who do a great job, a very great job at pressing, because it starts with them, and they understand that if they press well, the team can play higher and we can recover more balls for them to be able to score goals. So it's really a team effort, and right now it's paying off.
Now, the person you are going to be facing come this weekend is going to be Vinicius, which is a very big problem for a lot of defenders in the La Liga and even in the Champions League. As a matter of fact, anybody that faces Vinicius, they literally go through a hard time. You are going to be this man this weekend. Do you feel any sort of scared? Do you think you are going to be handling him just the way Jules Koundé would normally do it?
No, not scared at all. It's obviously one of the great player, favorite candidate Ballon d'Or. So it's one of the best players, no doubt about it. But yeah, for me, it's a challenge. That's also why I play football. I love playing against the best, and Saturday make no exception. Obviously, Vinicius, I would say, is probably the biggest threat, but they also have other players. I mean, it's a team full of talents, people and players who can decide games almost by themselves. So it's going to be a team job, because obviously Vinicius is not the type of player you can stop by yourself, especially during 90 minutes. He's relentless, and there will be some moments where obviously I would need help, and it's normal, because at the end of the day it's a team sport. So it's a challenge, because I will be in his zone most of the time, but it's also a team effort. So, and in this sense, I'm sure that we will do a great job.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jules. I'm just going to give you this very last question just before I let you go. Your dress sense is being very, I would say, amazing. It's broken so many stuffs on the internet. Talk to me, who inspires your dressing? Who do you see that makes you dress the way you dress when you're going to the trainings, or, you're stepping out? Because I want to learn. I want to write some things in my diary, just so I be like you in the future.
Thank you very much. I do this by myself. I actually grew up loving dressing, and I have a lot of different influences. It can be football, it can be basketball. Obviously also I'm getting more into high fashion. So it's just a mix of a lot of things I see in the street, things I see on social media. I don't have any particular influence or role model, I would say, but it just I'm just trying things. I'm just trying things, and I have also some, we could say, like a vision, and I know what I like. I'm always been very curious, so I always like try new things and see if I like it or not. And I think I'm getting to know myself better, and in this sense, my dressing also, I think, getting better and more curated.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Jules, and all the best this weekend. Thanks for speaking to the Sporty Show, and hopefully we get to speak to you again in the future. Well, thank you, and have a blessed week.
Thanks to you.
Great to hear from Jules Koundé there, Klinton. An enjoyable chat by the seams of things.
Really good interview. Really good interview.
Thank you, Gary.
On the subject of
Klinton
ElClásico.
always wants to let us know, Alec, Klinton always says, yeah, I'm not a journalist, but we are making a journalist out of Klinton yet.
We are. We're slowly coming. Whether he likes it or not, he's a journalist.
Yeah,
they are taking me out of my career to something
No longer a wedding MC, he's a journalist.
You know, there are two ways. There are two ways traditionally to do this our job. So you can take because I went to school, journalism school, and I had formal training, then on the job as well. But some of the greatest broadcasters in history have had no formal journalism or media training. Wow. They've just learned on the job, and they've become freaking good at it. So
yeah, man, I might be one of those,
MC.
Man.
Wow.
So you see, you're an MC. So eloquence comes to you naturally. All you are doing every week with all these interviews is that you are adding pizzazz and finesse and steez.
Hey,
Clinton.
See how my body they sweets me. Oh.
What can the man
Rina,
go?
do you know what it means for the Ghanaian journalist of the year as of last year telling an MC or a comedian that, bruh, you are doing really well. All right, I need to update my CV, man.
What the man can't do, he predicts Lille to beat Atletico Madrid. He interviews Jules Koundé like an absolute pro. The Ghanaian Journalist of the Year for 2023 is praising him.
Jeez, do you know what that means, though? Do you know what that means?
Nigerian Journalist of the Year 2024?
Really good no, I'm not just flattering you, Klinton, because I mean the tone of the questions, you made the guy feel comfortable. And we know Jules Koundé is somebody with a very strong character, right? I mean, his non-verbal cues, you saw the way he was nodding. He appreciated the style and the things of the questions. And I just kept thinking, where's the fashion question? Where's the fashion question? And when it came, I'm like,
Nah, thank you, Gary.
We did have that question from Kwasi Opong. He asked, Klinton, did you ask him about his fashion inspiration? There you go. Klinton's taking tips from everyone.
Of course.
I've got a little something for you guys on the subject of ElClásico. Jules Koundé obviously playing this weekend at the Santiago Bernabéu. I'm going to be asking you for your combined 11. Now, this is players that are fit, so it can't be Nani Carvajal, it can't be Thibaut Courtois, it can't be Rodrigo. So we're going to start with the goalkeeper position, and I want you two to come to an agreement on these ones. Lunin or Iñaki Peña?
Lunin, obviously.
Gary, you in disagreement with that, or are you happy with Lunin? Okay.
Lunin.
Right back, Lucas Vázquez or our very own Jules Koundé?
Oh, come on, man. I'm taking that dreadlocks, man. Are you mad, bro?
Gary, any other thoughts on that one? Okay, this is where it gets tougher.
I'll take Lucas Vázquez only because he's adding goals to his game this season. That's the only.
Okay. Of course, the Real Madrid captain scoring against Borussia Dortmund. This is where it gets difficult, guys.
He scored again this season, right?
And by the way, sorry, that goal he scored, it wasn't an ordinary goal. I don't know if you guys.
It's a good goal.
Gary, did you see what happened with that goal? I don't know if he was making a pass, right? I don't know if maybe, but did you see how he pushed the ball forward and ran behind the defender to get the ball and got it at the back of the net.
Well, Lucas Vázquez originally is a right winger, so he has those attacking traits.
Yes.
It gets a bit more difficult for you now. Eder Militao or Pau Cubarsí? Who are you going for?
Oh boy.
Militao or Cubarsí?
Klinton, you first.
I mean, truth is, I think I'm going to be biased here because, I've appeared on a TV commercial with Militao. And, I love his vibe. I love everything about him. So I'm going with my boy. He's my boy, man. I'm going with my boy, Militao.
It's your boy.
He's my boy, man.
This one slightly easier. Are you happy with that choice, Gary? Are you Militao or are you Team Cubarsí?
I'll go Militao. Yeah. I'll go Militao.
Rudiger or Inigo Martinez?
Oh, come on. That's too easy. I mean, Don Rudiger.
Rudiger. I mean, see, at some point in every game, you need that person that comes with a bomb. It's not just gone. Rudiger is that guy that would literally go speak to Kim Un-jong. How do you call that guy's name? It's North Korea. Like, I need some serious weapons because this game is against...
let me just say, Alex, for the same reason, I'll go for Militao because I think Militao has proven for a longer period, even this season has been, so that is why. But I think both Inigo and Cubarsí are absolutely, I mean, for the future, I see them possibly being in my starting 11 ahead of Rudiger and Militao, respectively. But for now, I'll keep the two. Yeah.
Let us know, of course, in the comments what you think. We've got a few already. Kwasi Opong saying, can my combined 11, no Madrid player will enter my combined 11, only for the keeper. Wow. Then also he goes on to say Koundé over Vázquez because Koundé has more minutes, more goal involvements than Vázquez.
That comment was sounding like Sara made that comment with another YouTube account. I'm Sara, wherever you are, I'm suspecting you, man.
Yeah, let us know in the comments who you're picking. Do you agree with Klinton and Gary?
But Alex, is that true? Is that true?
I mean, Koundé has one goal this season, I think. If I'm not mistaken, Lucas Vázquez has at least one. So there's little in it.
Lucas Vázquez has more than one.
Yeah,
season
I think
Lucas
Vázquez
has more than
he
one.
scored.
I think he's had about 3 goals.
There was a game. there was a game where I think Klinton or Alex predicted Vasquez will score. Remember a couple of weeks
That was
ago, and he
Borussia
scored.
Dortmund.
No, but
What
no,
did I say?
No, and also remember there was a time I went to the stadium and I was interviewing this fan.
Yes.
And this fan literally
Lucas
said
Vasquez.
The tall
Vasquez
guy,
was
the
going to
6
score.
foot guy.
Yes,
The 6 foot
yes,
guy.
that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Vasquez
so I know
is,
he asked about.
yeah.
Anyway,
Lucas Vasquez this season has 2 goals and 1 assist. Jules Koundé in this season for Barcelona has 1 goal, 1 assist.
Right. So Vasquez takes it then.
all right.
Vasquez
I mean, in
fewer
terms of
games
goal, though.
as well. So
But then again,
Fewer
the
games.
question here, the question or the reason why we are looking for a right defender, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not their jobs to score, it's the defensive ability, right? So you would rather,
Ability as
I'll
well,
put this question to you. Would you rather get your defender to score goals or for him to, or okay, let me put it this way. Would you rather Vasquez would concede 3 goals or to score 1 goal?
so concede 3.
So as a poor defender,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Or,
the options concede 3 or score 1.
yeah,
Well, I'm scoring 1 every time.
really.
As in, like, I'd rather my defender score 1 and not concede 3.
Well, no, I'm saying, I mean, you have to choose one now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot eat your cake and have it. Would you rather he concedes 3 or score 1?
Score 1.
So you rather he scores 1 and concedes 3?
Oh no, I thought you were saying either or. So scores 1 and concedes 3, or doesn't score or.
So now, because the argument here, right, is we are looking for a defender. Now, the job of a defender is to make sure that the ball does not go to the back of the net, right? Now, the reason why we are looking between Koundé and Vasquez is who is a better defender, or who would make it to our combined. Now, we are not looking at the goals now. We are looking at the ability to avoid the goals being to the back of your net, right? So are you looking at who would you rather have as Koundé is not scoring but is avoiding 3 goals? Or would you rather have Vasquez allowing 3 goals to go
Right,
while he has a
I
goal?
see what you mean.
see?
I see what you mean. As a defender,
I
I
see what
think
you mean.
Koundé is a better defender.
Exactly.
To the basis of defensive abilities, I'm choosing Jules Koundé every time.
Okay.
So, moving on to left back. Ferland Mendy or Alejandro Balde? Who are you picking? Balde or Mendy?
No, wait, let's hear from Gary first.
Gary,
Let's
who
go
are
to
you
that.
going for? Are you going Mendy or Balde?
It's a bit of the Vasquez Koundé situation. As a pure defender, I'm going Mendy. Balde's attacking attributes,
Yeah.
I think, are slightly better. So yeah, Mendy.
Which one are you going for
Yeah.
then? You going for Mendy?
Okay. No, I'll go Balde. I'll go
Okay.
Balde.
Are you happy with that one,
I'll
Clinton?
go Balde.
Or you want to go Mendy?
You see, that one is quite difficult, you know. Now, it will depend on what we are going for between
Just who
Lucas
you want in your
and
team.
Koundé.
I,
No, because if I was going with my combined 11, right, and if
Yeah.
I have Lucas Vasquez, who is going to be the guy defending and attacking at the same time, right, I would not want to have the same kind of person on my left.
It's true.
So I want to have somebody who's holding at
True.
that point in time. Does that make sense?
I think if you have Vasquez, you want Mendy because he's defensively solid.
Well, exactly.
Going
exactly.
forward, not as good, but I think there aren't many better defenders at left back than Ferland Mendy in terms of defensive ability. So we're settling on Mendy.
So what did we settle on the right? Is it Koundé?
Koundé or Vasquez?
I mean, I
I think
went for Koundé.
we settled on Koundé.
Okay,
Okay, so at this point, we will go for Balde now then.
Balde? Okay. So, moving into the midfield, this is where it gets really difficult. To be honest, so far, I think I agree with most of your decisions. I go Lunin in goal, Koundé at right back, Koubarsi at centre back with Rudiger and Mendy at left back. First one, Aurélien Chouameni or Casado. Who are you going for in that one? To me, I think that's an easy decision, but you guys might disagree. Gary?
Easy decision because it's Chouameni, I guess.
I mean,
Chouameni?
I would still go for Chouameni,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Okay. Now, even
Again,
harder.
body of work. Body of
Yeah.
work.
I
Body
think
of work this
defensively,
season.
there's not many better defensive midfielders in the world than Chouameni. I think, and he can play at the back as well.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. Jude Bellingham or Fermin Lopez?
I mean, I'll
Oh,
go for
boy.
Bellingham, to be honest. Sorry.
Gary, you agree with that? Or are you team Fermin?
I mean, I
Careful what you
I'll
say
go
now.
for-
Careful what you say.
You know, Gary, you know you are best friends with Sarah. You don't want Sarah to come back, watch this video, and be like, "Listen, we don't want Gary on this."
I mean, it is what it is. It's not the English hype. It's just I think Bellingham, for a big game like this, yeah. Bellingham.
Well done. Well done. The right choice. The right choice. Eduardo Camavinga or Pedri? This is where it gets really difficult. Klinton, who are you going for? Camavinga or Pedri?
You see, this is actually a very hard one, right? But honestly, I think I'll go for Camavinga. Sorry.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why. I just feel like Camavinga is actually a very ruthless guy. You know, he's that guy that, yeah, sometimes you could see some. I mean, it doesn't happen always. You could see that there are some times where it feels like, okay, he's not woken up on the right side of the bed. And, you know, how often does it happen in a year? But I think, you know, with what I've seen him do at the pitch, I mean, looking at what happened just on Saturday here, he came on when they were 2-0 down, and my man literally came, and the game, it kind of like changed. You know, he created some kind of stabilization in that midfield. So I think I'll definitely go with Camavinga on this one. Pedri is a very good one, though, but yeah.
We've got 3 really quick decisions to make because we've only got 2 minutes left. Vinny or Rafinha? Quick.
Vinny, obviously. Oh,
Vinny. Mbappe or Lewandowski, Gary?
Hey, Jesus Christ.
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski. Klinton, to finish off, Lamine Yamal or Fede Valverde?
Hey, Jesus Christ, this one hard.
The clock's ticking.
I'll go for Lamine Yamal.
Lamine Yamal. Okay, now...
I know. It's because of if Valverde was in the middle, I would have gone for him obviously. But for where he is there, come on, man, Lamine. Let's.
Before things run away from us, I'm going to ask you guys both for a quick prediction. Gary, I'm going to start with you. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Santiago Bernabeu, 9 o'clock local time kickoff. What's your prediction?
2-2.
2-2. Goals?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll give it just 2-2.
This is actually crazy because that's literally my prediction as well.
2-2 as well?
Yes, I've gone 2-2.
Okay.
No jokes, man.
Blimey.
Wallahi.
2-2.
Hey.
Well, there you have it. That's
What are you going for?
What
are you going for?
Oh, yes, you forgot yourself, you know.
I'm going to go... This is difficult, and this may sound biased, but I'm going to go 3-1 Real Madrid.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Vinicius, 2 goals, and Bellingham
Still
goal.
4 goals, so that's why.
Yeah.
Mackinder says Madrid 4-2. I mean, I don't expect any less at the end of the day. There's no time. This is something I would have loved to see people's prediction. But hopefully, when we come back on the show again,
Isaac
we'll
Best
be coming out
3-2 Real Madrid win. Well, that is literally all we have time for. Sorry to cut you off there, Klinton. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed that little combined 11. Of course, Real Madrid, Barcelona this weekend. Stay tuned to our socials for all the content that we're going to be producing. Arsenal, Liverpool, we didn't quite get onto that. Big game in the Premier League this weekend. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you very much, Gary. Catch you again, bro. Everywhere.